In this video, I'm going to talk to you about the pronunciation of the R in Spanish. So the R in Spanish has two different pronunciations, one that is harder and the other is a softer sound. So it depends on the position of the letter in the word that it is in. And also it will depend on whether it is just one R or if it's two R's. So in order to pronounce this sound, in order to pronounce either of these sounds for the R in Spanish, you have to put your tongue in such a way that the tip of your tongue is touching here, right behind your front teeth, your upper front teeth. It's the same place where you place your tongue when you want to do d or t, as in T or dog in English. And so I mentioned that there were two different sounds for the R. So the harder sound is something like this. The tongue vibrates a lot. Then the other one is much, much softer. It's d, d, d. Very similar to a D sound. It's very similar. You barely touch the top of your mouth with your tongue for that sound. And so, when do you have to use the harder R sound? Because in most cases you're going to be using the softer one. So don't worry, that one is going to be much easier to pronounce, and it's the one that you're going to be pronouncing the most. But as for this harder sound, it can be when you have the R at the beginning of a word, like here, you have it right at the beginning, relación, or relación if you're in Latin America. Relación, relación. This means relationship. Then you have, when you have two R's, a double R, that's also R. So, guerra, guerra, war, guerra. When you have the R following L, N, or S, it's also pronounced with a harder sound. So, alrededor, around, honrado, honored, Israel, Israel. So, relación or relación if you're in Latin America, guerra, alrededor, honrado, Israel. Then confront this with this softer R sound in these words. So you have gobierno, 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 lugar, lugar, lugar. Gobierno means government, lugar means place, trabajo, trabajo means work, poder means power, poder, 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 it's just, you barely touch it, poder, poder means power. So that is a difference. So in every situation except these situations that I mentioned here, in every other situation you're going to be pronouncing the R in a softer way. So just barely touching with your mouth. Barely touching with your tongue, I mean the top of your mouth. Like pero means but, like as in not this, but this other thing. So, okay, I hope that was helpful, and I'm going to leave you some other links to other videos in the description, so that maybe you can use those too in order to get the sound right. Oh, by the way, one thing that I saw on the internet, and I think it's on the web, and I think it's very useful or might be useful, is in order to pronounce this r sound, you can think that you're like a kid pretending to make the sound of an engine. So, you know? Or maybe you can try to imitate the purring of a cat. That's going to get you closer, close, like, you know, like that sounds sort of similar to the purring of a cat, I suppose. So maybe try to imitate that. And okay, one more thing. It was that, yeah, I think, that if you don't pronounce it properly, if you just pronounce it like in your native language, it's not going to be bad. It's going to be understandable, probably. But more, it's very likely that it's going to be understandable. So it won't really be bad. So if you don't get too frustrated if you can't pronounce the R right, you still can speak good Spanish that everyone is going to understand. So don't worry about that. I mean, if you can't pronounce it, you're going to be just super great. You're going to be the master of Spanish pronunciation, since this is the hardest sound in Spanish, probably for someone that is not a native speaker. But if you can't pronounce it, it's all right. It's going to be okay. I mean, if you pronounce an R like an American would do, or like a Chinese would do, that's okay. I mean, if you pronounce it like you would in your native language, it's not going to be bad, as in not understandable. All right. So without I have nothing more to say. So like I said, I will leave more links in the description so that you can go deeper, maybe, or look into other stuff in case you get stuck. Well, I hope that this was helpful, and goodbye.